is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, from the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Buffalo Bills. Hello, everybody. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at the Bills entering play here. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And the offense last week, they had things humming. If you're a defensive player, you may get overshadowed a little bit, but you're really buoyed by what your offense is doing.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they come in off another victory a weekend ago. That ran their win streak up to 7 now.
And I think that win last week established them as Super Bowl frontrunners. They're playing with confidence and swagger, and you need that to go a long way.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Bills on offense for the first time. They'll be led out by a former Pro Bowl quarterback out of the University of Georgia, Matthew Stafford.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. Now a first down throw. Stafford. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
Set, 180.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Myles Garrett in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
All right, partner, I'm going to be Captain Obvious right here. Not the start you're looking for offensively, right? Incomplete pass followed by a sack.
And when he went down, it looked like that right ankle got turned, but thankfully he popped up okay, and they breathed a sigh of relief on that sideline. Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12.
Set, 280.
From the gun, here's Stafford. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. Stafford on first down. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. A look now at the defensive starters for Cleveland. This unit, they've struggled a little bit against the pass, ranked number 21 in the league.
Defending the pass has not been one of their strong suits throughout the season, but they have any hopes of making waves in January. They've got to improve in this area.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Set. Waiting.
Now the first carry for LaShawn McCoy. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Set. 180.
Stafford on 3rd down. And that's complete to Lewis. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On 2nd and 10, Stafford. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long.
You ready? 180.
Throwing again is Stafford. And that is incomplete. That's already the 3rd time they've looked his way on this opening drive. He's caught one of the 3.
That doesn't mean they won't continue to go in that direction. It feels like they think they've got something good going there, and they think those numbers are going to increase.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted. But I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Under center, it's the 2017 Heisman Trophy winners. You get a look at Baker Mayfield.
And despite the 3 touchdown passes he threw, there's a lot to work on this week, wasn't there?
Oh, ton of interception.
Yeah, I mean, when you're going really with almost a 1-to-1 ratio, that's not going to work for you well at all. Not over the long haul. The beauty, though, somehow found a way to win.
Yeah, they still got the win last week. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Working out of the gun. Mayfield going deep downfield for Ross. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have back on their heels.
It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. The partner just looking at some of the struggles they've had this season. The playoffs are not in their future. As they start to peer toward the offseason, what moves might they make?
I think the running back position, and I know we talk all the time about the NFL being a passing league, but the teams that run the ball effectively, they're the ones that go deep into the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. They have to upgrade here. And you and I both know in recent years in the draft, people have shied away from taking a runner early, but if there's that special one there, I say they go get him.
The numbers last week for Shady McCoy. 17 carries, 65 yards, and a touchdown as well.
And when you measure numbers for the guys that carry the football, it's not just the yardage. How many times do they ring the bell? How many times they get into the end zone? And now that he has 15 for the year, everyone gets to celebrate, starting with his offensive line.
On 2nd down, it's McCoy. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Set. Lady.
Play action. Stafford going deep for Benjamin. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, his team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Second down, Mayfield. Flushed out right. Finding room at the 30. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. 23 yards on the tuck and run.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. On 3rd down, Mayfield. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. but that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
First quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. It's a return of 4 following a 42-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. On 1st down, Stafford here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. This give is to McCoy. Brings it up just shy of the 25. Showed some of that quickness there on the move. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 3rd down, here's McCoy. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
But he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Over the middle, complete. That's Jones. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And this is caught, but I don't think he stayed in bounds. No, he didn't. It's incomplete. The throw took him past the boundary, and it's 4th. 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. That's complete over the middle to Callaway.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now a second down throw for Mayfield. Dancing to his left. Gets it to Gordon. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 3 catches, 92 yards, and a touchdown.
And he now has 8 touchdowns on the season, and I just know this. He's going to be so eager to run routes in this one and try and get to the end zone at least 2 more times. 10 is a key number. Really signifies that you've had a big year.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. It's a 3-point game here early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. Now a handoff, Johnson. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. Hard throw, incomplete.
And that's a crusher right there. Had his man open for a 1st down, throw a fastball when that wasn't necessary, incomplete pass. One of these quarterbacks going to learn, you don't get extra points for how hard you throw the football.
Taken from just outside the 30. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Here comes LaShawn McCoy as he trots back out there now. It's the 2nd quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going. But we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Back to the air. Stafford on 2nd down. And he'll check this one down to McCoy. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. He's got his man. It's Brandon Coleman. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll give to McCoy. He'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The Bills on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is third down and 12. Out of the gun, Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. The wind is at his back here in the second quarter. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that will make it 6-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Now after the made field goal, Hauschka back out onto the field to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Mayfield looks to throw. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Here's a give to Mixon. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Back to Mixon on first down. Oh, fighting off the defender. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Mayfield now on second down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard.
And this is going to be intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Here's McCoy. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on third down, Stanford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Up to make the play defensively, Tre'Davious White.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, Johnson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. From the gun, Mayfield. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Now McCoy. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. Man open right side. It's the tight end Clay. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it with McCoy. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. He's going to go for a big play downfield. This is caught inside the 15. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back to Buffalo after this. reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They've got it 1st and goal at the 7. Now McCoy. Yeah, this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the
and he's got his tight end play. Touchdown, Buffalo. Charles Clay, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Hauschka adds the extra point, and the lead now stands at 13. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. Mayfield down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And a quick throw here, that's complete. To the 40 and no further, so the razzle-dazzle didn't get him much. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Mayfield to throw it. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to walk one deep left side here. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's 2nd down. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
The Browns on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Mayfield with it once more. He's got his tight end, Njoku. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. And Gonzalez puts this one through. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park, where the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll start up in the Steel City, Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. And it's the Steelers out in front in the second quarter. Ben Roethlisberger has thrown a couple of touchdown passes. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And as you see, they are currently all tied with the visiting Redskins. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore and check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were winners in that one over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Lamar Jackson, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Twisting away. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know. I
would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call? Yeah. We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
He'll buy some time right. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now. This is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. This is fielded at the 27. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Second and 10, Stafford again. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here, he throws it away, and now it's third.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, That's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
On 3rd down, it's McCoy. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They stay on the ground on 1st with Johnson. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Calling the gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
They'll go with a keeper. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
Well, they pick it up on 3rd and 1 on the quarterback sneak, and that's not easily done because there are extra bodies in there on the defensive side, and they're moving forward at the snap.
Yeah, I was certainly expecting a handoff, weren't you?
Yeah, I totally was. I thought they'd go with a back, maybe try and get a lead blocker in front. But as you talk about in different games, those guys with confidence in their offensive line, they just want to move forward and get it.
And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. And how might this affect him for the playoffs? We'll get a report when we come back. They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Buying time to his left. And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Trent Murphy in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And they're running right through it. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Now a first down carry here from McCoy. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Set. 280. 53, check 53.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. He's got a man complete. It's Clay. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that, but it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter is a good running back dive play.
He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said does. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And down he'll go at the 25. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. To throw, Mayfield escaping the pressure right. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And here come the Bills. This is sort of what you would call the put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. Quarterback was hit.
And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Third down is a down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win, and the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And a hook up over the middle to Pryor. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Another good reception there, and the Browns on the march. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play, so we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Buffalo. Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. The Browns passing game finding its stride. They've got another 1st down. Mayfield on 1st down. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And again, it's Mayfield. Pryor has it complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Mayfield on 3rd and 2. This is brought in by Pryor. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down. 1st down, Mayfield. And he fends him off. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Jerry Hughes able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
A handoff to Mixon. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Third and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's Mayfield going deep downfield for Ross. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
From the 50, Stafford. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Now it's Stafford. He'll set up the screen to McCoy. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Now Stafford. Going to drop this off to McCoy. Complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a gain of 11, but they're still well short. It's 4th down. The Bills send the punter out. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now the Browns offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jerry Hughes in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Detroit! Detroit!
2nd down, Mayfield. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Mayfield. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Mayfield now. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
After the interception, here's Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Back to the air, Stafford on second down. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. Still searching for that first interception in this game and down on the scoreboard. Remember, they won last week, and a big reason why they had 3 picks.
And one characteristic I've always noticed about great defenses is that they want to be the ones that have a huge impact on the game and actually lead their teams to victory. So you just noted 3 interceptions last week, and they won. A little extra pressure that they're feeling right now because they haven't gotten those interceptions in this game, and they're losing.
Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They go now to McCoy. He's seen a ton of action this afternoon. And now a timeout called defensively by the Browns. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. Off of play action, here's Stafford. Rush coming, and he's taken down. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. To throw is Stafford, and that is incomplete.
They tried to make something happen, but that one came up incomplete and really wasn't a good-looking throw.
Yeah, maybe even go as far as to call that a little ill-advised.
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's the right phrase for it. Definitely ill-advised. Just wonder about his mechanics right now, you know, and that's the tough part. You do so much stuff in practice to make it repetitive, but it has to repeat under pressure, whether it's pressure from the defense or just the pressure of playing the game.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the fourth.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. With his guys trailing here in the fourth, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
And he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. And they're going to speed things up here. Mayfield now on second down. And this is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. From the gun, Mayfield. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Throwing, Mayfield. And this is incomplete. The Browns unable to move the chains on 4th down. And the Bills are going to take over in excellent field position. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that one that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because they still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away.
Again, it's McCoy. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Stafford looking to throw on 3rd and 1. It's caught. Jones. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Buffalo. LeGarrette Blount, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will extend their lead.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Returning it, John Ross. Oh, nice move. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. Johnson with a burst, a 1st down and more. That good for 19 and a 1st down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off around the 27, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle at the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Bills, Their hopes of a 500 season stay alive as they move to 7-8 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the Patriots will come to town. Meanwhile, for Cleveland, this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.